Don't throw away those saltine boxes and those soup cans. I got something super cute to share with you. Hey friends, welcome back to Mimi's Mixed Bag. Thank you so much for stopping back by. And if this is your first video and like what you see, would love for you to hit that subscribe button or even the thumbs up button. Really helps my channel. Today I'm bringing you another original idea. If you like gnomes and Valentine's Day, you're gonna love this little project. So let's go to my craft table and let me show you how to make it. All right, let's get started. The body of my gnome is going to be out of this little tin can. I'm going to cover it up so it doesn't really matter how great you get the label off. The cone for the gnome hat is going to be out of a piece of cardboard, cereal box, cracker box, whatever you can come up with. For a pattern for the cone hat, I'm going to put a link below so that you can just print and cut, but I'm creating a 3-inch cone. So I'm going to get this cut out and I'll be back. All right, I've got my cone cut out and I just twisted it up to form the cone, and I put a couple staples in it and then used some masking tape just to secure it even more. Now I twisted it and stapled it big enough where it would fit over the can completely, just like a hat, and cover it up. I'm going to end up hot gluing it together as long as it will fit over the can like this. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a cereal box or whatever. You're going to cover this by either painting it or covering it with scrapbook paper. All right, I ended up having just a piece of scrap Valentine paper that worked out perfect for me to cover my cone. Valentine cardstock is not going to be sturdy enough. That's the reason why your base of your hat really needs to be cardboard, because we're going to be gluing candy on the hat. Now, back to my can and the body. Now, you could certainly use just scrapbook paper to cover your can. You don't need to go to Dollar Tree and buy a pair of socks. But I came across these sparkly black socks, and I thought they were so cute. Now what you could do is cover the can in the sock and then put the other sock in the can and maybe not hot glue your hat on the can, and they could have candy and a sock gift. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going, because I'm going to make two, one for each of my grandchildren. And now I'm going to hot glue my hat on my can, just like this. And let me show you how I'm going to do his whiskers. I'm going to take my hand, and it's almost like doing a tassel, like my last project. I'm going to wrap it around my hand about 40 or 50 times, something like that. I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to take a piece of string and tie all the little loops together, and then cut the loops apart. So what you're left with is just a stack of strings tied in the center. You're just going to shake it off, and you're going to hot glue it on his body. Now, depending on your nose, I hadn't decided what I'm going to use for my nose yet. I've got this little half a ball. You're going to find something for his nose, a bead, a button, going to show up well enough. Make sure that your nose is right there at the hat, and that your whiskers are right up under his nose, because that's all that's going to show, because that's the reason why you don't have eyes on a gnome. And you might want to trim up his beard. It just depends on how it hangs, but I think I like it covering up his body like that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is decorate his hat. Now, this is going to be a candy gift. Use whatever candy you want. I just am using what I have here at home. I have some red and white peppermints, and I have some cinnamon candies. They're both red and will coordinate just fine. They make all kinds of Hershey's Kisses in different colors. So you're just going to hot glue your candies all around the cone, like in rows, or neatly, however you want to do it. But I'm going to cover the cone as much as I can with the candy. Leave yourself about a ½ inch right here, because that's when we're going to put a little brim on his hat. It's only going to take about 3 or 4 rows of candy. So I'm going to get my cone covered and I'll be back. Whatever candy you use, you're going to get a different look. I just kind of scattered the peppermint and the cinnamon around. So now on the top, I've got about 1 inch left. I could go ahead and just fill it full of candy. What I'm going to do is snip it off. You could put a big pom-pom on top or whatever you can come up with. I just happen to have these little Dollar Tree foam hearts, and I took a Sharpie marker and just colored one of them red. I'm going to hot glue that on top and put some ribbons underneath it. Now, as far as the brim, you could use some kind of fuzzy yarn. I happen to have some of this little wire tinsel, any kind of little faux fur, or anything you can come up with. So I'm going to finish out the top of my hat, figure out what I'm going to do for my little hat brim, and show you my finished candy gnome. I'm going to move in a little closer so you can see the little Valentine ribbon I tied under the little heart. And like I said earlier, I think this would be so cute with the red foil kisses hot glued all around the cone for the hat. I finished it out with just some red pom-poms. A variety of things would work to make your hat brim. You just want to make sure that it will fill in the space between your hat and the nose. You could add yarn hair, you could add more embellishments, but now that it's all done, I really believe the hat would be heavy enough where you don't have to hot glue it. As long as the cone would come over the can long enough, you could stick the second sock in the can. And like I said, 2 gifts in one, socks and candy. So I hope you'll take this idea and make it your own and create your own Valentine candy gnome. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back in a couple days with my January thrift store finds. Bye-bye.